Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello, and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge, Ken.
That's very strange.
It is really strange.
We were having a good laugh right before we started with all of our guests.
It's been a wild afternoon here, and we're so excited to introduce our guests in 1 second. Matt isn't going to be here today. He's actually at a comic convention running the Fantastic Four booth. That's an inside joke everyone here will get, but no one listening will get. But that's okay, because
we're just talking about certain properties of certain members of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, what's rubbery, what's not, what stretches.
Really, we should have been talking about the properties of the Thing, but...
when their name is the Thing.
Yeah.
And they're always rock hard. Obviously, he's made of rocks, so...
Come on.
Well, he's hard rock. He's a hard rock hotel. He's just, he's a rock.
All right, I'm going to have to bleep that, but continue.
Okay, that's fine. But Matt isn't here, but we're super excited today because as we've been doing recently, our final 10 episodes on our road to 300 continues today. We have some wonderful guests with us, some that were with us right from the beginning, some that have been before the beginning. That's true. Some that are more recent. We want to celebrate everyone. So let's start from when we first started, as we've said many, many times on this podcast.
Before the dawn of time.
BT, before Triviality.
Before Triviality. None of this would have been made possible without the tutelage of one of our closest friends. And we're just so honored to be in their presence when we can. Not so much lately at Pub Trivia. But she was a patron September 25th, 2017. So our second patron ever. But we were just inspired by her and all the wonderful things that she does. And we're so excited to have her here as always. Rules Guy Impersonator on Patreon, second patron ever. Jay Borsom, how are you?
You give me far too much credit for all the work that you have done over the years, gentlemen, but I am so thrilled to be back again in the studio. Not your studio, my studio, which has all the rum in it. So I'm sorry, and you're not welcome to it, but it's good to be with you guys.
So happy to have you here. And thank you once again. Obviously, we started playing Pub Trivia with you and it led to all things Triviality. But thank you so much for being with us throughout this entire length of time.
Oh, it's been an absolute blast to watch you guys grow and prosper and succeed. And I'm here for the next 300 and more.
Oh, thank you.
What recent projects have you been working on, Jay?
Oh, that is a loaded question, Ken, but I'm here to answer it. So starting at the beginning of 2022, I kicked off my own kind of spin on a concept like Learned League or BP Trivia or some of the asynchronous online quizzes that have existed for years and years. It's called the World Trivia Federation. It's available through my Patreon for as low as $2 a month. It is 3 weekly quizzes, general knowledge, that drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Players have 36 hours to submit their answers. We use an ELO rating system to both matchmake and to serve as a leaderboard. And the big hook for this gimmick is that there is never an obligation to participate. There is no such thing as a forfeit.
Cool.
Yeah, and if you love trivia, like everyone who listening surely does, make sure to check out WTF. $2 a month is pretty great for all the amount of trivia that you get.
Yeah, sure. As I say, WTF, sign up now.
Jay, you still streaming?
Oh, yeah, no, still streaming 4 or 5 times a week. It cut down a little bit after 2021, but still hosting trivia and trivia adjacent games on Twitch at liquid_courage.
Awesome. Yeah,
I was waiting for Neal to incorrectly correct my pronunciation on courage. But
courage. Well, speaking of streaming, someone that you may have seen on the stream waves or whatever you call them, I suppose, the young kids today, someone who's been a patron of ours since June of 2019, so another longstanding patron, Savage Superstar on Patreon, local as well, Jeremy Goodson. How are you, Jeremy?
I am good. How are you all doing?
Doing great. Remind the folks at home what you're up to, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so if you're looking for me, besides random podcast appearances lately, twitch.tv/LKJeremy, which also LK standing for Liquid Courage, as Jay and I have been friends for over a decade now.
There you go.
Well,
I did not have a kid when we met.
I only had the one.
Now, this is a match made in heaven here for trivia enthusiasts. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for being here and just for supporting us for so long and being such a great friend to the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just happy to see how far you guys have come. I remember meeting you at trivia way long time ago now, it feels like.
Yep. And to complete the triangle of J's.
Right, it is a triangle of J's today. I think there was another phrase we said that we'll probably get to that was great too, and I can't remember. But a lot of J's today, and we're so happy to have our host with the most back in the saddle, and whatever other phrases you can say that are just like that. Coming to us from Massachusetts, an Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon as of 2022, so one of our newer patrons, but someone that we very much appreciate all of their help. That is Jamie Rishikof. How are you, Jamie?
Doing good. Thanks for having me back.
Of course. For anyone who's a patron, you might remember Jamie's Patreon bonus episode, which we had a wonderful topic of what, Ken?
Animal sex.
Animal sex. So is unforgettable.
I got outvoted. I was going for Freudian fornications for the title, but you know.
There you go. But we had a wonderful time then, but we also had a wonderful time with your regular game as well. But let's remind folks about what you're up to in Massachusetts and what we're in store for today.
So I'm a psychologist. I work with kids and teens, and not sure what else to say. Live in Natick, Massachusetts.
Love it. And I think we said last time that we were in need of heavy amounts of therapy probably after the episode. And so Jamie has become our private Triviality doctor, I suppose. Yeah. We'll talk about that in session. But thank you, Jamie, for joining us today. We have everyone here we need to play, and we need a rules read, Ken. So what are you feeling today? Or maybe we'll have Jamie pick. What does Jamie want to hear?
Jamie?
How about Gilbert Gottfried?
All right, we'll hear Gilbert Gottfried.
Triviality Podcast is 2 rounds of 20 questions worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there's a special swing round by this week's host. In the final round, players wager points they've earned for a chance to become the cream of the crop.
I am the cream. Yeah, the cream of the crop.
All right, we have the rules thanks to Gilbert, and it's time to go. So teams today are going to be the Jays, Jay and Jeremy, versus who's sitting out? You?
Yeah.
Too many Jays, right?
We couldn't have too many J's. So.
Okay. So versus me and Neil. So is that going to be your team name, what you typed there? Menage J Trois?
No, I was figuring that was a good suggestion for the episode title. I think Jeremy have decided that we are going to name ourselves the Bald and the Beautiful.
Could be said the same about
You
us
can
in the
decide
studio.
who's which.
Yeah, we have to have another soap opera name then. So do you want One Life to Live or All My Children pun there that we can make?
Oh, considering the pre-recording conversation we had, I was going to go with Genital Hospital.
That's what we'll do.
Genital Hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, the poor kids of Triviality. What's a genital? Wow. Okay.
All right. I'll remind you from last time I did general trivia that I like to theme my rounds.
Did you say general trivia or genital trivia?
In this case, general trivia.
Okay.
Yes, the genital trivia was the bonus episode.
Okay.
Accurate. So round 1 is titled "You Look Familiar." Question 1. He's the handsome one. Over the course of 23 years, this actor has played the same character on 11 different TV shows, including The X-Files, Arrested Development, and The Simpsons. Name the actor, and for a bonus point, name the character.
All right, I think Jeremy and I are locked in on this if you guys want to talk it through.
Sweet. So he's the handsome one immediately makes me think of the old phrase when people used to talk about the Baldwins, but I don't know if there was a Baldwin on X-Files.
It's not a character, though.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's a character, right?
All right. Well, we don't really know. We know a long-running character. I'm not sure if they were on these shows, but we're going to say Rip Taylor. Not sure if that's a real name or if that's a stage persona.
Jeremy, do you want to take it or me? Because I feel like we tag team this a little bit.
We did. I mean, we both had the same idea, and Jay's thing was, I think this is a John Munch universe thing, and as I was typing Richard Belzer into Discord, so we both had the same idea. Don't know if it's right. But so we're going John Munch as the character and Richard Belzer as the actor.
So points to the Bald and the Beautiful. That is Richard Belzer playing John Munch. And I lifted out the easier answers like Homicide and Law and Order and all the cop shows and left these other random things he appeared on in character.
Now, I was actually surprised, Jamie, that you didn't choose to include Sesame Street, because I know he's
that
played
was my
John
fourth
Munch in
choice.
Sesame Street. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That was a contender.
He does look like a Muppet, but in a good way.
All right, question 2. He did his best. This classic fictional character holds the Guinness World Record for the most portrayed literary human character in film and TV. As of 2016, he had appeared 254 times on screen.
We can lock in over here.
All right, so a couple came to mind real quick just off the first read, Jeremy. The first that I was thinking of, I know there's some kind of record that has to do with Pinocchio. It might be that Pinocchio has been adapted into more literary works than any other like classic story, but I don't think it's the answer here. So I started thinking through other characters. I went to Robin Hood for a second and then kind of quickly discounted it. I have this notion in the back of my head that's yelling Sherlock Holmes at me. What do you think on that?
Yeah, no, I agree. Going over the other ones you said, like Pinocchio as an example, there have been quite a few works, but I don't think there's been a lot of like TV and stuff with it. Kind of like where Sherlock has multiple TV shows, multiple movies, like throughout the years, and a ton of books. So,
yep, this one came pretty quickly just from knowing the character so well, but we agree. We think it is Sherlock Holmes.
Yep, points all around. Sherlock Holmes. Question 3. An immortal character. This character holds a record for the most often portrayed non-human character from literature, with 274 appearances in film and TV. The first cinematic appearance happened in 1921.
Reluctant.
yeah, so the one thing that popped into my head, and it could be wrong, but I know there's multiple works, and even though it's technically was a human at one point, the first thing that popped to my head hearing this question was Dracula.
I was thinking more like a Greek character, maybe Hercules, Zeus, something like that. But I'm really just kind of stabbing in the dark. If you have energy on Dracula, I am here for it. I'm good to lock it in if you are.
Yeah, it's just one of those. It fits the immortal clue, and it's non-human technically. And I don't have a ton of like fire on it, but at the same time, it's like it just popped into my head and makes sense. So.
And we agree that it is Dracula. Probably the first one would be Nosferatu.
Points all around. Count Dracula. I think it's not Nosferatu because they basically made Dracula without the rights to Dracula.
The vampire?
Oh, so it must be Todd Browning's. Dracula Halala. What is this? I've never heard of this. Dracula's Death, 1921. Look at that.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, the novel only came out like 25 years before that, so it was still under pretty strong copyright, even in the pre-Disney ruin the concept of copyright days.
Wow, I've never
What
heard
country
this.
is this from?
From Austria. I've never heard of this before.
It looks like a very accurate adaptation with the characters Dracula, Mary, George, the chief surgeon, the fake surgeon, his assistant, and Funny Man.
Ah, Jeff, you're in there. Funny
Sounds
Man.
just like
Well, thanks.
the real Dracula.
Yeah, my name is also Carl Goetz.
Question 4. The Wonder Worker. This legendary character, based in British and Dutch folklore, and transformed closer to our more familiar modern version in 1800s New York City, has appeared on screen over 814 times.
I think we're locked in.
I was thinking through, I was trying to figure out what the question was asking until you got about 2/3 of the way through, and then the combination of British and Dutch in New York is just screaming Santa Claus to me.
That's what we said as well.
That's what
Yeah.
Jeremy and I are going. Yeah,
We said
We agree.
Papo Gijo.
Ho, ho, ho. It is Santa.
Have you ever been asked to play Santa Claus, Jamie, with your nice beard?
Actually, I think my father played Santa once in some play or something. I'm not even kidding. But I've never had the pleasure.
You'd make a good like young Santa and like a gritty reboot.
Like someone killed one of the reindeer, like Comet's just dead, and he come, I'm gonna get
Revenge of Santa.
Oh, I am stupidly
Santa
excited for that
Claus
David Harbour Santa
Origins.
movie that's coming out very soon.
Yeah, I can't wait for that either. Anytime Santa gets dirty and fights people, it's gonna be a good time.
Question 5. A real wild man. Johnny Weissmuller holds the record for one actor playing the same character the most times in different movies. He played this character in 12 different movies between 1932 and 1948. What was the character?
Yeah, this unfortunately for me was an insta-get with Jeremy, so we're going to hand it over to you.
Okay, he said Wild Man, so I would think maybe Wild Bill Hickok. That would be a big period with westerns as well.
Oh yeah, that could be true too. Yeah, I was thinking it's also
Or Tarzan.
12. Okay, that could be it. Tarzan. Yeah, I'm thinking it's either like
Tarzan.
The only other thing I'm thinking of is like a film noir character. But all
with the wild clue though.
The wild. Yeah, I think there are a lot of Tarzan movies. Maybe we should go with that.
All right, Tarzan.
Yeah, and Jeremy and I concur on that. I've written a question not dissimilar to this years and years ago about Johnny Weissmuller being an Olympic athlete. I think he was a swimmer. But I could be wrong on the exact sport. But, before he rose to fame as being shirtless and yelly, he was shirtless and competitive in the Olympics. So we also agree with Tarzan.
Yeah, Tarzan it is.
All right, with that, question 5 out of the way. Looks like Jays of Our Lives. Is that what it was?
The Bald and the
I kind
Beautiful.
of wish it was now.
And the Beautiful. 50 points and
51, Ken.
51?
They had the
what?
bonus from the first one.
Oh, there was a bonus. Okay. 51 points and 40 points for Genital Hospital.
Question 6. When you go out, don't tell them the arms that I have. The actor who was portrayed the most times by other actors is not even famous for his acting, but his role in history. He has been portrayed 11 times in TV shows and movies by other people.
Okay. I threw an idea at Jeremy, and it seems like you're on board with me on this.
Yeah,
And
it fits the clue.
Yeah, definitely. When I think of actors that are famous for things that have nothing to do with acting, it may help that I earlier today was writing a question about the TV series Bones, because the name Booth was in my head, and I really think this is going to fit that clue. So I think we're going to lock in with John Wilkes Booth.
And we said the same.
Well, you're on the right track. It is John Wilkes Booth. Well done. Question 7. Dynamite performance. What historical figure has been portrayed most often in movies? He's been featured in 194 movies.
All right, I think we're locked in.
All right, they're locked in. They
So
figured it
The
out.
clue finally clicked.
So is there someone Dynamite?
Nobel? That I don't think I've ever seen a movie with Nobel in it.
No, I haven't either. Is it someone who used explosions quite a bit? Like a war person or war hero? Let me think. Dynamite.
Let's say Dynamite specifically. Dynamite performance.
Yeah, something with a bomb, something with an explosion. 194 times. Oh, and you said it was a historical figure that was basically, they performed as a historical figure 194 times.
All right, well, we're cluing into Dynamite. We can't quite connect it. We were thinking about a lot of things, but we just have to end up guessing on this one. We're going to say Wyatt Earp. It's always good to go with a cowboy when you're talking about movies.
Yeah, so I actually sent Jay a message that said Nobel, because it's the first thing that came to mind, and then hearing the reread, Dynamite locked in a little bit more beyond Nobel, and I go, well, there's another Dynamite that happened that's in film that's also a historic figure, and that'd be Napoleon Dynamite or Napoleon Bonaparte.
Oh.
So that's what we locked in with.
Oh, Jeremy, you caught it. Nicely done. It is
Saved my butt on that one.
It is Napoleon Bonaparte.
That is a great clue pull there. Wow. Joaquin Phoenix, your favorite, Ken, playing Napoleon Dynamite, filming right now.
Playing Napoleon Dynamite?
Or playing Napoleon, although I'd love to see him play Napoleon Dynamite. That would actually be really good.
Like, I know
Tina,
I'm out of
you
the
big
modern
fat
film loop,
lard.
Neil, but I think that's a lie.
It'd be dark and gritty.
Yeah, just for the big dance number at the end.
Like vote for Pedro or else.
Question 8. This one is a cliffhanger. What is the longest running game show in network or syndication? The show originally aired on network TV from 1956 to 65, and a syndicated version premiered in 1972.
Yeah, Jeremy and I are easily locked in on this one.
So cliffhanger makes me think of one of those Price is Right games. Yeah, the yeah, whatever. And I do know, I always think of Bob Barker as like, the Price is Right guy, but I'm pretty sure there was a host before him for quite a long time.
There?
What, right? I think?
Could be.
Because the price was wrong. And Happy
then
Gilmore.
he came in and
he
fixed
came
it.
in. Yeah, he came in. And
I'm good to go with that if you have a hunch.
It's just my hunch. Yeah, let's just go with the Price is Right and hope that Bob Barker doesn't knock us out.
Yeah, Jeremy and I very much went the same way off of the Clue cliffhangers. I was hoping that this was going to somehow go in a Sylvester Stallone direction, but I'm very happy that it went in a game show direction. And yeah, cliffhangers is the yodely guy without going over the cliff show on The Price is Right. So we're both on the same page on that one and are locked in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't ask why I know this, but it's in my head. The host you're looking for is Bill Cullen, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Related to Edward Cullen, Vampire of Twilight.
Thank you for that, Jeremy. I couldn't get Art Fleming out of my head, and I know he was like the original host of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I'm now regretting not offering a bonus point if you could hum the yodeler for the bonus point on this question. But yeah, The Price is Right is absolutely correct. Question 9, I believe. With more than 1,600 recorded cover versions, what song has been covered the most times?
All right, Jeremy and I danced around this a little bit, but I think we're in agreement on a guess, so we're locked in.
All right, so they're locked in quickly, which doesn't bode well for us. But the I believe right off the bat, every time there's marketing for Christmas, it's always I believe or whatever, and it makes me think of Santa Claus, which I know we had a Santa Claus question, but White Christmas is covered quite a lot, and so is like a couple other Christmas songs. But
what about one with Santa, like Santa Claus is coming to town or something like that?
That might be, yeah, maybe we go that route. Santa Claus is coming to town, because you got, I mean, the famous ones, obviously the Bruce Springsteen, and then the other ones, but I like that, because I think it's got to be, I could be way off, but I'm guessing it's a Christmas song.
All right, let's go Santa Claus is coming to town.
Okay.
All right, and for our mileage, for whatever reason, the title Imagine absolutely came to mind on the read. So I was definitely thinking of Beatles thing, and I was trying to convince myself and Jeremy that was right. Fortunately, Jeremy shifted direction a little bit, and I'll let him take it from here.
Yeah, because I believe in yesterday.
Jeremy, excellent pull again. That is exactly where I was going. Yesterday is correct.
So, Jamie, when did you send Jeremy the questions before the recording?
Right after the check cleared, of course. Question 10, Seneca Village. With appearances in movies like Enchanted, Elf, and Spider-Man 3, to name a few, what is the most used film and TV location off of studio lots?
I know this one. We can lock in.
As do I.
I remember hearing something not that long ago that Central Park is one of the biggest filming locations outside of a studio lot. So,
oh, I really like that answer, Jeremy.
That's first thing that came to mind, and I can't think of anything else. So that was where my mind was.
Yeah, my ball is in your court on this. If you think it, let's go with it.
All right, and we're gonna lock in Central Park.
Yep, Central Park, most film location in the world, like Jamie said, and I believe Seneca Village. That was the land that existed before they turned it into Central Park, and that's what we locked in with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I probably mispronounced that, but you got all the clues. Absolutely correct.
All right, yet to miss a question and picking up a bonus as well, the Bald and the Beautiful, with 70 points trailing Genital Hospital.
It's crazy. We only missed 3 questions, but it feels like we're miles away.
We're going to have to go to the hospital after this game, I think.
I think we will. Yeah, and Jamie's going to be footing the bill.
I think the big difference here is that Matt isn't here to ask any questions about slam ball.
Yeah,
there you go,
true.
Jay. You have a second chance to redeem yourself.
You do have a second chance. I saw a tweet that said Slam Ball's coming back. But for anyone who isn't familiar with Slam Ball but is more familiar with our show, all 3 of our guests today are Patreon supporters. So if you'd like to get some ad-free versions of our main feed episodes, you can join for as little as $1 a month. And that will get you all of our episodes with no ads. But if you don't mind the ads, and start of the new year in 2023, we're going to have some fun products that I hope we're going to get to try, right, Ken? Like in person.
I hope so.
I think we might get
I
maybe
love swag.
Maybe some socks we might be able to try. We won't name the brand yet because they haven't signed on. Maybe some drinks. Maybe some steroids for me to get jacked. I don't know.
Need to get jacked?
Yeah, I do.
Probably not steroids, but the other stuff, yes.
Yeah, if any human growth hormone people want to reach out, I'll do it. I mean, it's not going to help me with
your
trivia.
muscles are going to get huge. Other things might shrink.
Okay, well,
we'll just go to the hospital.
It'll be normal size for Neil then.
Yeah.
If that happens, we'll just go to the hospital, as per mentioned.
Wait, which hormones are these, Jeremy? I'm asking for a friend.
But if you'd like to join our guest today over at Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcasts, and all of them are active on our social media outlets such as the Crop, Twitter and Instagram at TrivialityPod, or our Discord, where everyone is joining together, play board games, watch some movies. Someone watched Rocky Horror Picture Show together as a live video feed there, which was really, really fun. But join us over on social media as well. And I'm just trying to stall the losing that's about to happen again. So, Jamie, what's in store for the swing round?
Yeah, let's do the time warp.
Yeah, please.
All right, for the swing round, it's called What's in a Name? I'm going to give you a list of band names and then a list of backstories for how they got those names, and you have to match them.
Sounds awesome.
Ooh, okay.
Cool. Some of them might be artists, too. So, the names are Childish Gambino, The Guess Who, Steely Dan, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Skrillex, AC/DC, Fall Out Boy, Black Sabbath, Daft Punk, and the Velvet Underground.
Okay, what are the explanations?
All right. Explanation 1. Originally formed in 1964 under the name My Backyard, this band changed their name due to a mocking tribute to a gym teacher at Robert E. Lee High School in Jacksonville, Florida, who was notorious for strictly enforcing the school's policy against boys having long hair. Number 2, formed in 1968 in Birmingham, England, the band got their name from the title of a 1963 horror film starring Boris Karloff, which happened to be showing at a cinema across the street from their rehearsal room. Number 3, the band formed in Sydney, Australia in 1973. They came up with their name when one of the band's members' sister was inspired by the letters on a sewing machine. Number 4, formed in LA in 1972, this band was named after a steam-powered strap-on dildo referred to in William S. Burroughs' novel Naked Lunch. Number 5, formed in New York City in 1964, the band got their name from the title of a book with graphic sexual themes. Number 6, formed in 1962 in Winnipeg, Canada. They picked this name with the hope that the public might assume the name was deliberately masking several famous artists that were collaborating under a pseudonym. Number 7, formed in Paris in 1993 by 2 former members of the band Darlin'. This band's name came from a negative review in the United Kingdom's Melody Maker. Number 8, this band formed in Wilmette, Illinois in 2001 without a name for their first 2 shows. At the end of the second show, however, they asked the audience to yell out ideas for names, and one of the suggestions, which was inspired by The Simpsons, became the band name. Number 9, in 2008, this hip-hop rapper got his stage name from the online Wu-Tang Clan name generator. And number 10, in 2008, this DJ began performing under his old AOL screen name.
Okay, and just for the audience reference, when we come back, we'll give the descriptions again, and we'll relate the artists to them. So we'll be right back as we consider these.
Behind every work of art, there's a story. Okay, sure, it sounds kind of obvious when I say it like that, but think about it. How many times have you stood in an art museum, maybe with a date or with your mom, looked at an artwork and thought, I don't get it? I'm Amanda, and I know the feeling all too well. To me, knowing the story behind an artwork is a huge part of knowing how to look at it and appreciate it. And on my podcast, Art of History, that's exactly what I share with you. In each episode, we view history through the lens of some really great works of art. There is so much we can learn about the people and things which someone way back when deemed worthy of recording for posterity. And let me tell you, on the podcast, we have barely scratched the surface. Join me as we dive deep into the bigger picture behind some familiar and maybe not so familiar works of art. No prerequisites required. Check out Art of History wherever you get your podcasts.
Monsters are as old as humanity itself. Monsters embody our fears. Yet, they help us define the boundaries of what it means to be human. We know most monsters aren't real, yet we can use monsters to learn about reality. Psychology, biology, folklore, literature, critical thinking. We're on a journey to learn about the world through the lens of monsters. And we hope you'll come along with us. Subscribe at monstertalk.org.
And we are back with our answers for the swing round. These were a lot of fun. This is some trivia bread and butter here, wouldn't you say, Neil?
I think so. It's very entertaining, and it's stuff that you love to spout at parties.
All right, let's have it again, Jamie.
All right, so question 1 was a band in 1964 in Jacksonville, Florida, who were named for a gym teacher who hated long hair.
Yep, we said Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, band was named for Leonard Skinner. Leonard Skinner is what we went with also.
Correct. And number 2 was 1968 in Birmingham, England, named for a Boris Karloff film, Across the Street.
We went with Black Sabbath.
Yeah, this is one I didn't know offhand, but, kind of what else could it be based on the list? Jeremy, we went Black Sabbath as well, right?
Yep, agreed.
That is correct. Question 3 from Sydney, Australia in 1973, named for a sewing machine by a sister of a band member.
We went with AC/DC.
Yeah, as did we. We agree.
That is correct. And in 1972, referring to the strap-on steam-powered dildo.
That would be Steely Dan.
I'm so pleased and weirded out that I know this dead to rights. It is definitely Steely Dan.
And proud you should be. That is correct. Question 5, formed in New York City in 1964, named for a graphic sexual title of a book.
Went with the Velvet Underground.
Yep, as did we on this one. Velvet Underground.
Absolutely. Number 6, this band from Winnipeg, Canada in 1962 gave a vague name in order to mislead prospective fans that it might be some famous artists under a pseudonym.
The Guess Who.
Yeah, I always thought they were named in a pseudo homage to The Who, but your story made a lot more sense, so we went with Guess Who also.
That is their story. Question 7, Paris 1993, named for a negative review in UK's Melody Maker.
Whoever wrote that is probably eating their words after a long career, but we said Daft Punk.
I mean, whoever did write that got lucky being associated with them forever. It's Daft Punk.
True that.
They were all up all night
thinking about it.
Tell you what, they probably got sacked pretty quick, so they didn't make that trip around the world.
Well, it's like I always say, work harder, faster, longer, not smarter.
Question 8. A band who could not think of their own name asked the audience, and someone came up with a Simpsons reference.
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
Chicago hometown band here, Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, we'd have to give up our L cards if we didn't know that.
Absolutely. And question 9, an artist who got his name from a Wu-Tang Clan name generator.
That's Childish Gambino.
I think I had this as a true-false question at my pub show a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Childish Gambino for sure.
Absolutely.
AKA Donald Glover.
And number 10, an artist who got his name because it was his old AOL screen name.
Skrillex.
Yeah, we're in agreement as well.
Yep.
And before
Absolutely.
we tabulate the scores, just want to say that our Wu-Tang name generator names are, for Jeff, Wizard Violent. For Neal, Hunter Insane. You like that, Neal?
That's pretty good.
And I was Monkey Fearless, but I'm going to go with Monkey D Fearless.
I think it's a stronger name. I like it.
Excellent.
Scores?
Yeah, so after that swing round, everybody got everything right in the swing round. So it was a complete sweep for both teams. That'll bring Genital Hospital all the way up to 120 points, but keeping their lead at 151, perfect throughout. Bald and the Beautiful.
Oh, they haven't missed a question yet.
They have not. Because we haven't asked a slam ball question.
Could it be a perfect game? Could it be?
Halfway to a perfect game.
Perfect game?
Not anymore.
All right,
So,
Jeremy.
I know it's an audio medium, but
All right, Jamie, take it away for round 2.
So round 2 is all slam ball questions.
yeah, no, I flew too close to the sun on that.
Kidding. The round 2's theme is surprising inventors. So these are people who have invented things that you might not know about. Question 1, a shocking inventor. Among other inventions, this founding father is credited with inventing swim fins, the odometer, the American political cartoons, and bifocals.
All right, we can lock in right away on this one. Jay, how you feeling?
Feeling really good on this. Jeremy and I typed the same thing at the same time. I think it's the Decemberists' favorite founding father, Benjamin Redacted Franklin.
Yeah, we said Ben Franklin.
And that one's all about the Benjamins. Absolutely. Question 2, third time's a charm. Among other inventions, this founding father is credited with inventing a macaroni machine, a revolving chair with a leg rest and writing arm, and a revolving book stand.
All right, I'm very much between 2 right now, Jeremy. It's how you interpret the third time's a charm thing, because the first thing that came to mind, third time's a charm, founding fathers, John Adams, in as much as he may have run for president 3 times, he was Washington's VP twice, and then of course the second president. But you threw Jefferson at me, which could arguably fit the third time's a charm clue, and it bumped the punch bowl a little bit. That I think there was an old Simpsons episode where Homer was becoming like a great inventor, and he wanted to go find the chair that was invented by like Thomas Jefferson. Does that ring a bell to you at all, or am I just making stuff up entirely?
I mean, a little bit. I got it from the macaroni clue, which I don't know why, but I remember hearing something recently about Jefferson and macaroni. Or like popularizing macaroni or something like that. And then the books thing kind of dug it home for me, just because he was an avid reader and he had like notes in all of his books, and he wrote his own version of the Bible, like all that stuff. So that was...
How do you diagnose that, Jamie? Wrote your own version of the Bible.
I don't have an answer for that.
I'm trying desperately to connect this to BYU news, and I can't get there.
I feel... Oh, that's funny. I think it's, well, you can't make it worse.
So Jeremy, I'm a coin flip on this. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, like the third time thing really seems to point towards Adams, but like you said, the Jefferson chair thing is scratching my brain, and then for whatever reason there's a link between Jefferson and macaroni. I mean, outside of the book thing, because the books just immediately made me go to Jefferson. But
right, my only worry is that Jefferson was really, really busy in his life, being the ambassador to France and being portrayed by Daveed Diggs. I mean, I'm good with it if you are. I think your gumption's a little stronger than mine is on this, so yeah, I'm good to lock in with Jefferson if you are.
We did the same. Jefferson.
There's a great bit in 30 Rock where Tracy Morgan, his character, thinks he's related to Thomas Jefferson, and he invents the Lazy Susan, and he's like, I shall call her Susan. And as soon as you were talking about all these other revolving things, I was like, he didn't invent stuff. He just revolved everything. Let's put casters on this.
You guys are absolutely right. And third time was a reference to third president. It is Jefferson.
Okay.
Oh, the perfect game.
I was afraid I just talked us out of a right answer.
Almost
Jay.
done.
I was afraid I let you. So,
Question 3. Honestly, This American president invented a device for lifting boats over shoals and other obstacles in rivers.
You said
Yeah, Jeremy, I am dead to rights on this one.
All right.
so. The one that honesty is associated with would be. Well, wait a minute.
No, well, it's Honest Abe, right? So it wouldn't be. I don't
But
think
then there's also
Abraham Lincoln was lifting boats.
Oh,
There's also the.
he was lifting a lot of things. That guy was swole.
He was lifting something. I
There's
can't
also
say
the
that joke.
cherry tree myth about Washington, though, right?
Yeah, there is a cherry tree myth about him. Yeah.
That was about honesty too. But honest Abe is the.
Was he lifting boats? I don't think
Sure.
Abe's busy.
He was a
doing-
workman.
Well, he was a workman, but he's doing law stuff. He's giving speeches. He's dunking basketballs. He doesn't have time
Maybe
to
there
lift
should
boats.
be a rap musical about him.
There
I
should.
think Lincoln.
Lincoln? All right. We'll go Matthew McConaughey's Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong on this, but that Abe Lincoln is the only president to have a patent on record in the U.S. Patent Office. It was for lifting boats, as Jamie said, I think in association with like the Mississippi River. So I am absolutely deadlocked on Abe Lincoln, Jeremy.
So I'm a little disappointed when you were listing his jobs that you didn't add vampire hunting to that.
Oh, I thought it was going there when they're talking about how swell he was.
Yeah, before he was a lawyer, Lincoln had this like raft and he was like shipping stuff up and down the river, and he invented a way of getting around obstacles. It's absolutely Abe Lincoln.
I never heard that fact either about the patent, being the only president with the patent. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and also one of only 2 presidents to be in a wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's in the real one.
Yeah.
Question 4. More than a method actor. This late acting icon invented a new conga drum that, instead of being tuned by 5 or 6 screws on top, could be tuned by a single crank at the bottom.
What else?
After a little deliberation, I think Jeremy's got an idea on this, and I'm going to go with it. So we're locked in.
Okay. So we're looking for a dead method actor.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going through my head right now.
Laurence Olivier. Who's method?
It's a good guess. I would say probably the most famous.
Marlon Brando?
Brando is probably what you'd consider method. He might not have gone like Daniel Day-Lewis method, but like he was a crank, just like the question states. So, I'd say Marlon Brando would be nuts enough to make a conga drum.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just random actor facts I know. Marlon Brando was a drummer. And I don't know if he invented something, but method actor that did something with a drum, that's where my mind went.
Yeah,
So-
it sounds a hell of a lot better than my answer. So that's where we went.
also locked in with Marlon Brando.
Yep, that is exactly right. Marlon Brando. Points for both.
And we just can't gain any ground on these folks.
We can't. We could have been a contender.
Nice.
But now look at us.
That's back-to-back
podcast
waterfront
hosts.
questions, I think.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
That's
Me
true.
on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Question 5. Hey there, Delilah. This MGM actress of the 30s and 40s developed a system that could switch the control signal among 88 different frequencies. That is now used today in a variety of technologies, including Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, I got it. We can lock in.
For some reason, Hedy Lamarr comes to head.
That's 100% it. Thank you so much. I couldn't get past like Greta Garbo and Rita Hayworth and people that Madonna sang about. I'm like, it's one of them. Which one is it? The moment you said Hedy Lamarr, that just like I got an electric shock of rightness. So let's go with that for sure.
Yeah, there's a great documentary about her as well. What was it called? Bombshell?
Bombshell, I think. Yeah, and then Gal Gadot's going to play her in a series.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
nice.
we said the same. Hedy Lamarr.
Yeah, it is. She was pretty brilliant. And there's actually a really good graphic novel all about her life story as well.
Oh, cool. That sounds really fun.
Have to check that out.
Big argument that the Allies wouldn't have won the war effort without her work.
And the graphic novel is called, is this The Secret Communication System or Hedy Lamarr's Double Life?
I think it was Hedy Lamarr's Double Knife that I read. That was really good.
Ooh, okay.
Very cool.
So after 5 in the second round, both teams perfect, but one team's still perfect throughout the whole game. Bald and the Beautiful, 201 points, an impressive feat so far. Not too far behind, though. You guys have 170 points at Genital Hospital, so still anyone's game.
Usually this would be enough to not get mangled.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good, that's for sure.
It's with both of us having so many points, though. It's such a slim margin.
Well, we know now
that
if you
last
invite
round's
this many Jays into the studios, you're going to have a problem.
It's such a slim margin, is what they told me at the genital hospital.
Question 6, go deep. This film director developed an underwater dolly equipped with propellers that makes it easier for a camera operator to maneuver in water.
Okay, when you first started reading it, the first thought that came to mind when you said deep, and I heard filmmaker, was Jacques Cousteau, who's famously done work on like scuba stuff. But Jeremy thankfully gave me the alternate out.
Yeah, when it comes to underwater stuff with filming, even making his own deep water rig, James Cameron is what came to mind for me.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. 3 more seconds, I would have been there myself, but thank you.
Yep, we went with James Cameron.
Absolutely. Points for both teams. James Cameron.
Who's excited for Avatar 2, 3, and 4? Ken?
I think James Cameron is.
Oh, he's very excited about that, that's for sure.
I thought Avatar 2 was The Legend of Korra, though.
Question 7. This guy? This famous scientist invented a better ballet toe shoe that provides additional support.
All right, we are sniffing a small clue in here, we think, and we're locked in with a guess.
This may be where things end. We'll find out here in a moment. Jeremy and I just kind of, I don't know if you can give each other stares in the middle distance on a Discord chat, but I think we both did that simultaneously. We're like, I initially threw out just a complete guess of Tesla, because when I think ballet, I think, Eastern Europe and Russia, and I know Tesla's associated with being from that area, but I don't love that at all. So we're still kind of
electrifying, I hear.
Yeah, he stuck potatoes on the shoes.
Well,
he
the
made
true
little,
innovator that he was, yeah.
He made little pigeon-sized shoes.
No, he made them so that you coil up your toes at the front. That was the innovation. But then Jeremy threw out a couple ideas that I think might have gotten us somewhere with the name of the category. So, Jeremy, do you want to talk through that?
The only other things that come to mind would be like either Einstein or Edison. We're talking about inventors of stuff, and
yeah, just trying to back solve with that category name of this guy. The thought is, I think it's an expression to say that this guy is like no Einstein. So based on literally nothing else but that's where Jeremy and I are going to lock in with Einstein.
Okay. When we hear guy, like this guy, we think science guys, right? Mm-hmm. And there's only like a pretty decent handful of famous scientists, you would say. So we said Bill Nye, the science guy.
Oh, that's so much better.
And I think he's an engineer too, so.
Mm-hmm.
He is an engineer, and that is exactly what that clue was.
Wow.
Oh, nice pull.
We got him. We went old school.
Nice
we didn't even think of going.
Very nicely done.
I tipped my cap to you because I thought that was like way off, but yeah, good pull, Ken.
Wow.
Oh, that's so much better.
You're still winning, but it feels good.
As soon as you said it, like, yeah, that fits the clue really well.
Bill.
Sorry, Jeremy. We got through the yips. We're going to be fine.
And we just learned in a previous episode, last week's episode, that Bill Nye used to get mistaken for Steve Martin when he was doing stand-up.
Yeah. No, he actually
won a lookalike contest.
Yeah, won a lookalike contest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 8. Tell her. This famous stage magician, among other claims to fame, invented a hydrotherapeutic stimulator, which is, quoting, a spa of a type including a tub for holding water and a user, in particular a female user, could enjoy. The spa's jets are strategically located to make the experience enjoyable for the female user.
Oh, we can lock in because I heard all about this before, and I know exactly how it works.
Neil went to the sex museum.
There is a museum of sex in New York, but every time I'm in New York, no one wants to go with me. So I'm going to have to go by myself.
Hey, next time you actually invite me to New York, I will go to the Sex Museum with you.
All right, we can go together.
I'll hold your hand.
We'll bring Jamie too.
Like bros do, yeah.
Last time he got thrown out for what he did with those.
That's true. Jamie can drive up from Massachusetts and we can talk all about what we're seeing.
All right, we're locked in.
Yeah.
I'm actually disappointed that I don't get to see this magician in a couple weeks. They had to reschedule a tour due to Teller having some kind of heart condition. But off of the clue, tell her, I'm going right to Teller, which takes me right to the one who talks. I think, and Jeremy, I think you and I are on the same page on this. I think this is going to be Penn Jillette.
Yep, a friend of our show is on Penn's podcast, and Penn talks about this all the time in a funny, joking way, but we said Penn Jillette.
And Penn Jillette is absolutely right.
Hey, very cool. I did not know that about him. I followed their masterclass a couple years ago.
That was not part of
never
it.
came up.
Yeah, he writes books, and then, just had this invention, which is pretty fun. You can look at the patent online if you want. Just Google it.
I already did.
All right. Question 9, a really smart idea. This famous scientist invented a new original and ornamental blouse. The design had side openings, which also serve as armholes, and a central back panel that extends from the yoke to the waistband.
I don't know why, Neil, but I'm thinking maybe it's Stephen Hawking. Just diving down into the pool of famous scientists, like I said, that there's a handful of. Or Marie Curie, who's a famous female scientist, so might have invented a lady's blouse.
Oh, maybe because she was spending long hours like doing a lot of work that other people weren't, and maybe she didn't want to be burning up.
But I don't know. Something about Stephen Hawking is...
I'm just flabbergasted that there's a term for a blouse that's called a yoke. I've never heard that before, so I need to research that. But if you want to go Stephen Hawking, when your gut was right on Bill Nye, so I can't
This
deny
is
it.
less of a clue, I feel. But yeah, let's just go Stephen Hawking for the hell of it.
All right, so I initially said this as a joke, and Jay just said let's go with it as well. I was just like, because we said it last time, we go Einstein ? And then after the reread of the clue, it's like with very smart. I'm like, oh well, a very smart person you'd call an Einstein. So I feel actually better about it, and it was just a joke to start. But let's go with it. So we said Einstein again.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is fool us once, shame on us, fool us twice kind of territory here.
Yeah, this time it was Einstein. That's what the very smart idea was meant to hint. I looked it up, and the yoke is the part of the garment that fits around the neck and shoulders and is sort of shaped.
Oh,
rounded.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess.
And
all right.
Was
Yeah,
there
it
any
makes some sense. He
explanation
spent-
of why?
Yeah, I don't know that. No idea why he was inventing this blouse.
I mean, it makes some sense that he was an inventor. He spent enough time in the patent office to be inspired.
Question 10, think twice. This classic American author invented a self-adhesing scrapbook.
Yeah, I randomly stumbled across this like 3 days ago, writing for the World Trivia Federation. It is not the question that I have, but it's kind of a side entry point to it. And I'm pretty sure that, yeah, the quiz will be live and done by the time this airs. So let me just very quickly read the question that I wrote that answers this, if you don't mind.
No, please.
Here's mine. What famous 19th century American is credited with the invention of the hook-based adjustable bra strap? Still incredibly common today. His intention for the innovation was to be used in place of suspenders for pants, but according to the Atlantic's Rebecca Greenfield, for those with little brassiere experience, not a button nor a snap, but a clasp is all that secures the elastic band, which holds up women's breasts. So not so dexterous ladies and gents, you can thank Mark Twain for that.
Yeah, we also said Mark Twain. Because I feel like he'd want to collect all of his memories.
Yeah, apparently he was really into scrapbooking and invented his own way.
Yeah, I think that was one of
Scrapbooking
the
and
three
boobs.
inventions he had patented, and I just wrote about another one and stumbled across that completely randomly in the research.
He was portrayed by Val Kilmer in like a play. I think they videotaped
stage
it
show.
too. Yeah, stage show. Yeah. Well, Jeff, I don't know how good or bad we should be feeling going into the final round, but as you tabulate these scores, how should we be feeling, basically, is what I'm asking you.
All right, Neil, I'm going to say something, and you tell me how you normally feel about it. Genital Hospital has 210 points.
Normally, I'd feel very good about that.
I'd say that's a great game right there.
Is it because Bald and the Beautiful has 241 that you're not feeling so great?
That's why,
Oh, okay.
yes. The one question they missed, they made up for later in the round. So
Even before we hear the categories, I feel like we have to go all in.
we're going all in.
I was going to ask you how you felt about it, but apparently you're very willing to share.
Yeah. What are those categories that we're going all in on?
So again, like last time, there's a single category for the final round. In this case, it is real pick-me-ups, all about major disasters.
And our wagers are locked in on that one overarching category. We are going all in, and they are going all in. So we're all in. Let's have the questions.
Are you in?
As Incubus famously asked.
All right, it's
Way
time
to go with their 7th best-known single for that reference.
It's time for some real pick-me-ups. Question 1. What is the bloodiest day in history? On January 23rd, 1556, this Chinese disaster is the deadliest day in recorded human history. Estimated that 830,000 people died on that single day. Question 2. With a cost of $590 billion, what was the most expensive blunder in history? On April 25th, 1986, a drill simulating a power outage led to uncontrolled reactions and a steam fire that burned for 9 days. 134 workers were hospitalized and 31 of them died the following weeks. 14 of them would later die from related causes. Design flaws and low safety standards were determined to have caused the terrible incident. Question 3. With an estimated 75 to 200 million deaths, what was the deadliest pandemic in human history? Question 4. Who was the deadliest dictator in history? During his time in power, he caused a total of 47,263,517 deaths. And question 5. What is the deadliest known disease? It causes 16% of deaths worldwide. Since the year 2000, the largest increase in deaths has been for this disease, rising by more than 2 million to 8.9 million deaths in 2019.
Those are the upper questions, and we will be back with the downer answers.
There are really many reasons to listen to our podcast, Big Picture Science. It's kind of a challenge to summarize them all, Molly.
Okay, here's a reason to listen to our show, Big Picture Science, because you love to be surprised by science news. We love to be surprised by science news. So, for instance, I learned on our own show that I had been driving around with precious metals in my truck before it was stolen.
That was brought up in our show about precious metals and also rare metals, like most of the things in your catalytic converter. I was surprised to learn that we may begin naming heat waves like we do hurricanes. You know, prepare yourself for heat wave Lucifer.
I don't think I can prepare myself for that.
Look, we like surprising our listeners. We like surprising ourselves by reporting new developments in science and while asking the big picture questions about why they matter and how they will affect our lives today and in the future.
Well, we can't affect lives in the past, right?
No, I guess that's a point. So the podcast is called Big Picture Science, and you can hear it wherever you get your podcasts.
We are the hosts. Seth is a scientist. I'm a science journalist, and we talk to people smarter than us. We hope you'll take a listen.
Laura, Spencer, and Michael are pop culture nerds.
Jim Carrey plays the same character in The Truman Show and Sonic the Hedgehog.
They enjoy analyzing fan theories found on the internet.
Is the Grinch the sole survivor of a brutal genocide committed by the Who's?
Their discussions are civil.
You can do what you want. That's fine. You're just stupid.
Honest.
I honestly don't have very much knowledge of the show.
Mature.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't care about how much he poops.
For every theory, they have a rating.
I think it's time for us to rate this theory.
I'm going to say this is genius.
This is completely preposterous.
I am saying plausible.
In addition to being entertained, you'll learn fascinating movie secrets.
In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Voldemort shoots a green light from his wand because he wants Harry to go away. Harry shoots a red light because he wants to stop Voldemort.
And after every episode, you'll come away being able to say,
we're all dumber for having listened to this theory.
Fan Theory Queries is part of Airwave Media and is available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
We are back with our answers. Let's have the questions one more time and find out the method of our death.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Final round, real pick-me-ups. Question 1. The bloodiest day in history. January 23rd, 1556 in China.
My 1500s China knowledge is a little bit limited, I admit. We feel like it was that big old earthquake that hit that day that everybody knows about.
Yeah, and that's interesting because that's exactly what we have as well. Without the parenthetical big ol, we have earthquake.
Yeah, we were like, I know there's probably a
non-specific points. Non-specific points.
So I'm going to be that guy. There is a specific name. Do either team want to take a stab at it?
Jeremy, you want me to throw a guess?
Yeah, go ahead. I told you what I thought the same came close. If it's not it, but if you have something better, please.
It's an incredibly specific guess. I think it might have just been called the Great Earthquake.
We said the Yangtze earthquake.
It is called, and forgive me if I don't pronounce it correctly, the Shaanxi earthquake.
That's what I said.
Which I assume is regional.
That's what I said.
Yeah, and that, of course, translates to English as great. So,
clearly.
So points all around. No.
All right, no points. No points.
Question 2, the most expensive blunder in history.
We feel that's the Chernobyl disaster.
Yeah, what did you say the economic toll was?
$590 billion.
Not great, not terrible. We said Chernobyl also.
And Chernobyl it is. Question 3, the most deadly pandemic in history.
We said the bubonic plague. Because I believe it killed a third of the Earth's population or something like that at the time, which was less, but still a lot.
You call it the teenage boys plague, right? The bubonic plague.
Oh, very good. Very good, Neil.
It was for Jamie.
Hit the laugh track. No, hit the laugh track. Not the applause. Hit the laugh track. That would be like on Big Bang Theory.
He's out of science.
Yeah, it would be Penny coming in with her wine glass going,
Or
Sheldon, you mean like the teenage boys plague? The bubonic plague? Yeah.
This is one that we were really torn on because my first instinctive answer was the Spanish flu, but sitting there thinking it through with Jeremy, remembering that there were a couple billion people on the planet at that point, and I think it would have been really, really hard for like a tenth of them to die in 3 years. So we ultimately kind of wiggled back and forth. And Jeremy, what did we land on?
We ended up also going the bubonic plague.
And points for both teams. Added piece of trivia, I've recently learned that is where the term boo-boo comes from. Like you have a boo-boo.
Oh.
Is it really? No kidding.
Yeah, that the blemishes that would be left behind or the scarring would be called boo-boos.
That is
that's cute.
So a thing I'm never going to tell my kids again.
Yeah, so they got boo-boos by playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Exactly.
Different
So
plague.
cute.
Question 4 was the deadliest dictator in history.
We said Stalin.
And this is another one that we waffled back and forth between two. My first energy was Stalin as well, but Jeremy, you threw out an alternative name. What was that?
So I swear I heard this somewhere on a podcast within the past, I don't know, at the time all runs together now, but something I was listening to where it was almost a very similar question, and they had said Stalin, and then it was brought up that Mao had killed about 3 times as many people as Stalin. So we ended up going with Mao.
Yeah, Mao Zedong.
Yeah, once again, I think Jeremy pulled it. It is Mao.
MVP of this episode right there, Jeremy.
I'd like to know numbers now, though, to know if it's really 3 times or if that's just something
No,
like
I think you're pretty close.
Wrong.
I think due to the Communist Party policies, I think nearly as many people starved just due to incompetence as Stalin intentionally got rid of.
And the final question, the deadliest known disease.
We were kind of going between heart disease and cancers, and we went with, although heart disease has been the top for a long time, we went with cancers due to the fact that you said it's been rising a lot lately.
See, we went a very different direction, and I thought exclusively infectious diseases. So first thought, best thought on that was malaria, because mosquitoes are the deadliest animal on the planet.
You guys moved off the right answer there. It is coronary heart disease.
Nice pull.
There's a lot of countries that are westernizing and taking on American diets. They're also getting heart disease. All right, and the final round scores have been tabulated with an excellent 180 points. Genital Hospital is in second place because today's cream of the crop with 271 points is The Bald and the Beautiful.
On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are.
Well done.
Great game.
Whew. Thank you. You kept the gas on the entire time, boys.
Oh, we got crushed. Thank you for being nice.
That's what the hospital told us, at least.
That's true.
Look, you didn't lose. You came in second.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I'll start thinking that way.
Well, let's start the thank you train here because there's so many thanks to give out just from our screen here. Jeremy, we always love seeing you. We haven't seen you in person in a while. Hopefully, we'll change that along with Jay. But any final shout outs, links, promotions, whatever you'd like to say, the floor is yours.
Just big thanks to Jamie for writing the game. That was awesome. Really good questions. And if you want to find me on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/LKJeremy. The main thing that might interest anybody listening here is Brian Nash and I do a version of his Geek Trivia game every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Central. So come check that out, play some trivia. And I don't know if this will be out in time, but if it is, we're going to be doing a fundraiser for March of Dimes and my channel. So part of a group of channels doing that the week of November 13th through 19th. So if it's out in time, come check that out. If not, I'll be posting stuff on social media and all that when it gets closer.
Very cool.
Wonderful. Yeah, and shout out to Brian Nash as well. Hello to him. Our next thank you here, we said at the beginning, Jay, you've been so influential to us, and it's always wonderful to see you here. Any shout outs? The floor is yours, of course.
Yeah, a couple quick shout outs. First and foremost to my family to continue putting up with me. Shout out to the rest of the crew over in the Trivia Writers Co-op. Wouldn't be half of where I am today without the love and assistance from some fellow awesome trivia hosts and writers. So shout out to all of them. As far as where listeners can find me, Twitch 5 nights a week. At twitch.tv/liquid_courage. Courage is spelled with the letter K, by the way, where I do trivia content every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and word game content every Friday and Sunday. If real time doesn't work for you, I do commission the World Trivia Federation. Quiz number 100 is about to hit, so a big milestone there. It'll probably be after this episode aired, so assume it was awesome. And details for that, including how to participate for as low as $2 a month, are at my Patreon, which is patreon.com/liquidcourage. No underscore there, and still with a K. And on a personal note, Ken, Neal, Jeff, you guys have been absolutely killing it in the podcast space. I couldn't be prouder of you. I am honored to hitch my wagon to your stars. So thank you so much.
Thank you so
I know
much.
This is my 135th appearance on this show, but you're always so gracious to have me on, and I love you for it. Keep up the good work, and best of luck. Let it be 300 more.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So nice to see you today. And we're out of time, right? No, I'm just kidding.
That's
Jamie,
our time.
Jamie,
They're playing us off. That's our music.
Jamie, what a great game today.
Thank you.
Like high scores, but like questions we definitely had to think about.
Yes.
And really fun questions too. So any parting words from you?
Let me know if I need to talk at 2 times speed in order to make up the time.
No.
So I really enjoy putting these together. So thank you for inviting me back. And a shout out to my wife, Diane, for supporting me doing stuff like this. And for my kids for not being audible while I did this. To Carter and Madison, I appreciate all their support.
Awesome. And that'll do it for today. Once again, we want to remind everybody that we are part of the Airwave Media Network, where you can check out great podcasts such as Pulse of the Planet, The Secret History of Hollywood, and The Projection Booth.
Don't forget,
There's one
Ken,
for Neal.
They also have movie therapy. I don't know if it's as good as Jamie's actual therapy.
That's true.
But it comes close.
And the Pirate History Podcast. That one sounds pretty cool. All right. Well, that'll do it for today. We want to thank all of our guests once again for Jay, Jamie, Jeremy, Jeff, all the J's, and Neal, Matt somewhere, and myself, Ken. That was Triviality.